Hello, this is a quick video explaining the heart for IGCSE and GCSE Biology. This is meant to help you with your revision for your exams. Okay, so the first thing we have to talk about is the diagram of the heart. When you see a diagram of the heart on your exam paper, you must notice that the left side is actually the right side and the right side is actually the left side, because remember, this is meant to be a heart and it's 3D. So if you get confused, just pick up the paper and hold it up to your heart, then you will see which side is the right side and which side is the left side. So let's talk about the right side first. So blood is going to enter from the vena cava, and this blood is deoxygenated. This is why I put it in a blue color. Blue color is deoxygenated blood, meaning that there is no oxygen present. Blood is going to enter from the vena cava into the right atrium. From the right atrium and through the tricuspid valve. So if you want to memorize it, you will just say tricuspid. It has RI. It's on the right side. It's going to enter into the right ventricle and out through the pulmonary artery. Remember that arteries, they push the blood away from the heart. So artery equals away. Now this blood is going to go through the pulmonary artery and into the lungs. So let's just do that. Here are our lungs. And then they will get oxygenated. And the oxygenated blood will go into our pulmonary vein. Remember that the pulmonary vein brings blood back to the heart. So vein equals back. And pulmonary just means that it's coming from the lungs. Remember how we said pulmonary artery? Pulmonary artery basically means lungs away. So the blood is going to go to the lungs away from the heart. Pulmonary vein, the blood is coming from the lungs back to the heart. Now this blood is oxygenated since it got oxygenated in the lungs. Okay, so the oxygenated blood is going to enter through the pulmonary vein into the left atrium. The bicuspid valves are going to open, the blood is going to flow downwards into the left ventricle, where then this muscle is going to contract and it's going to push all the blood through and away from the aorta. Remember, the aorta is an artery, and arteries push the blood away. Now, valves are important as number one, they prevent the backflow of blood, and number two, they maintain pressure in the ventricles. Now, notice how this muscle over here is much thicker than the muscle over here. So, why does the left ventricle have a thicker wall than the right ventricle? Well, first of all, number one, a larger muscle is required as the left ventricle pumps oxygenated blood to the whole body. Number two, so that blood is under high pressure. You have to know that The right ventricle only pumps blood to the lungs, so this is why it's smaller. The, the right ventricle, let's put that in blue, right ventricle is smaller because the blood only goes to the lungs, whereas the left ventricle is larger. So the blood goes to the whole body. So it goes to the whole body and including the brain, of course. So blood needs to be really strong and it must be pushed with force. And it goes through the aorta. This is why the aorta is also very thick and extremely elastic to withstand this blood pressure and not rupture. So the hormonal system and heart rate. When an organism is threatened, the adrenal glands release adrenaline. Adrenaline is an hormone. The adrenaline binds to specific receptors in the heart. These receptors are found on the cells. Okay, so this causes the cardiac muscle to contract more frequently. This means that more blood is pumped to muscle tissue, meaning that more oxygen is supplied to the muscles. Therefore, muscles can contract and this organism can run away from danger. Okay, now we need to talk about coronary heart disease. So, what is coronary heart disease? So, coronary heart disease is when coronary arteries that supply oxygenated blood to the heart muscles get blocked by layers of fatty material buildup. So, let's change the color. Here, blue. So, coronary heart disease, sorry. So yeah, coronary heart disease is when coronary arteries, that supply oxygenated blood to the heart muscles get blocked by layers of fatty material buildup. And over here on this diagram, we can see that the coronary arteries are on the outside of the heart, and this is over here you can see these are the muscles. The heart is basically one big muscle. The coronary arteries are on the outside of the heart. Very important that you know that. The fat is gonna just make layers over here. Just keep layers and layers and layers. This means that less blood is gonna flow, and then you can have a clot because the blood flow is very slow, which means that less oxygen is gonna be supplied to the heart muscle. This heart muscle is gonna turn into a darker color, into a much darker color, and then this muscle dies, so the heart is going to contract, is not going to contract, which leads to a heart attack. Now let's put that in writing and what is coronary heart disease caused by? Okay, so it's caused by mainly it's caused by a diet that is high in saturated fat. So things like butter and bacon and ghee. So this will lead to fatty deposits forming inside of arteries, preventing the flow of oxygenated blood to cardiac muscles. Okay, so this will result that the cardiac muscles do not have enough oxygen, so no oxygen, which leads to anaerobic respiration, which leads to lactic acid buildup, and then this will lead to muscle death, which causes a heart attack. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that this short video helped you with your studies, and please like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you guys need any more topics or anything that I should cover, just comment down below. Thank you so much.